Okay, so let's take a look at where you are today. Hopefully you have your own website, you've got your band members together, you're practicing at least 2 and preferably 3 times a week, but you're asking yourself why you aren't making the kind of money you know you're capable of. Other bands are doing it, so what gives? Why can't you do it as well? Well, in this section, you're going to cover why you may not be making the kinds of money you know you should be, and I'm going to show you how you can make the necessary adjustments to your music business approach so that you can make the money you deserve. Now, the first thing you need to understand, and I can't stress how seriously important this is to your career, is that the best bands also tend to be the best promoters. Now, by best, I mean the bands who are getting paid what they should be getting paid and are playing enough to make the music business a serious career for themselves. I'm not talking about 10-minute guitar and drum solos. That does not make a band great. What makes a band great is the understanding that in order to continue doing what it is that you love to do, you've got to get the promotions of your band's music business under control, complete control. A systematic approach to getting yourself seen, paid, and played is where your focus should be always. And if that isn't where your focus is right now, I can guarantee that once you've completed this section of the course, that's where your focus is going to be pointing. That is, if you want to get paid what you're really worth. So what do I mean by the best bands tend to be the best promoters? Well, to start, the clubs that you play in today and want to play in the future are looking at your band and they're comparing you to the big boys, the bands that are already commanding their respect and those big paychecks. They want to know how you stack up. Is your package comparable? Do you present yourself as professionally as they do? Are you a beginner? Because believe me, if you're a beginner, they can definitely spot it a mile away. See, when a club owner receives your first phone call or gets your package in the mail, they're making all of these comparisons against the big bands, and it's going to be based on these initial comparisons that 99% of the club owners are making the initial decision to like or not like your band before they've even played your demo. I know that sucks, but that's the reality. This is the music business, and no one said it was going to be a cakewalk, so you got to suck it up, recognize it, and then get with the program. There is one good thing that you do have going for you, though, and that's that you're miles ahead of most bands out there simply because you're trying to do something about it. You're taking this course to ensure that your music business success, and by going through it, you're going to be able to position your band on a path to success and stardom, and that's what I'm going to help you with. So let's get right to it. There are and always have been 2 key factors to the likability of bands. Any band, whether it be hip hop, death metal, jazz, or techno, these factors are constant. They're always the same, and they're always going to be the same when it comes to people liking your band. And those 2 important factors are your package quality and presentation and your band's background information. Now, basically, it comes down to how well you present yourself and how good your story is. If you send out cheap and quickly assembled packages, then you're going to find that the gigs don't really present themselves to you very often. If you're a boring band with no background to speak of, no one cares who you are. You gotta intrigue, you gotta delight, and you have to surprise all potential venues and the media at every opportunity, and this is really, really important. So what's going to make you a saleable commodity? And the reality is that you are a product. You might not like that, and that statement might make you feel a little uncomfortable, but let's look at the facts for a second. Clubs bring you in to play, and they pay you good money to do it. They expect a decent return on their investment, and that means you've got to deliver. You need to bring in fans to help them sell their booze. That's your job in their eyes. Now, maybe you see yourself as an artist, and that's great, but how many artists die in obscurity because they failed to understand that unless they sold their art, they'd be eating out of garbage cans or begging for scraps to survive? You want to make it. If you didn't, you wouldn't have taken this course, so I feel pretty comfortable saying that and pretty comfortable telling you that your music is a product. You are a product, and you need to be able to sell yourself to your fans, to the clubs and to the venues, to the media, and to anyone who can help you move up the music chain and get to the fruits of big band success. So again, that brings us back to the question, what makes you a saleable commodity? Well, as I mentioned earlier, your first impression is a lasting one, and 9 times out of 10, the first contact with anything tangible from your band is going to be your press kit. And the quality or lack of quality is going to speak volumes about who your band is, and if you screw this up, that's going to be it. This is where it pays to really invest in a great promotional package. Next, there's the list of clubs and venues that you're already playing in that you think you can get into and the ones that you want to get into. In terms of saleability, the only venues that matter are the ones you're already playing in, but it doesn't hurt to start your want list and work towards those goals. We're going to talk more about clubs and how you can work them properly a little later on in the course, but for now, the list of clubs you're playing in right now is also very important to your sales presentation. Your budget or lack of one is crucial to your saleability. I'm sure you already understand the value of money and how extremely important it can be to your promotional capabilities. And if you can't afford to put together a premier promotional package, this is something that's going to hinder your progress in a big way. So having a sufficient budget for your promotions is also essential. And we'll talk more about this further into the course as well. Now, although it may not seem to be as important as the rest of this list, the quality of your gear and your equipment also plays into your saleability. If your guitar sounds like crap and your amp crackles and pops whenever you play, it's not going to take too long for you to lose a few gigs as a result. So taking care of your gear and making sure it's fully functional and in tip-top shape at all times is also going to be vital to your band's reputation and thereafter your band's success. And of course, to make it to the big time, you've got to be popular. So whether people like you and your music is going to be a really big deal. But you know that, and I'm pretty sure I don't have to elaborate on the fact that if people don't like your music, you're not going to be around for too long. So I'm going to assume that your music at this point is at least decent. As for people liking you, this is also extremely important. It's kind of weird, but we have a tendency to be very forgiving of things as long as we like the people who are doing whatever it is they're doing. I mean, when it comes to music, if you like someone's personality and the way they carry themselves and present their show, the music will sometimes take a back seat to the person. Which sucks if the music sucks, but hey, let's face facts. If we like someone, we tend to like whatever it is they do, regardless of skill or their lack of it. It's just human nature. Whether that's a good or bad thing really isn't up to me to decide. You've got to deal with that and use it to your advantage. Treat everyone you meet with respect and kindness, and I'm certain your following is going to grow in a big way naturally. So there you go. These are the 5 main elements that are going to help you determine and build on your saleability, your promo kit, your list of clubs and venues, your budget, your equipment, and finally, how well liked you and your music are. Now, you might have some of the 5 taken care of, and there are others you might need to work on a little, but that's okay because no one of these on their own is really ultimately going to bring you the success you want. It's the combination of all of these elements that's going to make you saleable and successful. So that's what I'm going to help you out with, and in this section, I'm going to cover these 5 important elements and how you can move out of those piddly $100 or even $300 gigs that most bands are used to and move you into the big venues. I'm sure you've had your eyes on some big venues, and I'm going to help you get paid more and raise up the perceived value of your band in both your fans as well as the clubs and the venues owners' eyes.